Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Coaching Podcast. Oh, it's the Peak
You've
Endurance
messed it up
Podcast.
completely.
I was thinking, is it?
We'll start again.
Yeah, no, I'll edit it out. It's all
Yeah.
right. It's okay.
Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance
There
Podcast.
we go. See, they didn't even know
No,
a thing.
It's seamless.
Seamless. With you
So, yeah,
are
who
your
are-
very
who are you,
professional
anyway?
hosts, Isabel Tate.
And me, Ron Tate.
Ronald
Ron
Tate.
Tate.
Yes, indeed. We're back. Were we back
Yes.
last week? I can't remember. What was
Yeah,
last
yeah, I
week?
think
No, we didn't record last week.
Oh, didn't we?
I had the procedure. We were going to
yes. Oh,
record,
right, that's right.
but I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's been a bit of a not so good recovery. The anaesthetic hit me harder than
Hmm.
normal, so
Yeah.
I've been feeling a bit blur. But here we are, and
are.
you may, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll notice our background is a bit different.
It is. There's a
Not
window
because,
behind us.
yes, not because we've put in a different background, because we're somewhere different.
Yes.
Where are we, Ronald?
We are in sunny lawn. Not so sunny lawn.
Not so sunny lawn.
It's typical winter on the Great Ocean Road. It's pretty grey. We drove through some rain on the way here.
And behind some very nervous drivers.
Oh yeah. We came via the Great Ocean Road, and you don't.
Google Maps did say that would be quicker.
And you don't actually drive much of the Great Ocean Road. It's only about 15 odd k's of the Great Ocean Road.
That was enough.
But that was enough because there were a few very nervous drivers on the road. And of course, because we live in the east of Melbourne and we had to drive to the west of Melbourne, we had to go over the Westgate Bridge.
Luckily, I was asleep for that.
Yeah, it took us half an hour just to get over the bridge, and you slept through the whole.
Oh, thank God. God, I timed my naps well. What woke me up was the there
was a fair bit of that going on, because no matter which lane I chose, it stopped immediately and all the other lines went past.
Murphy's Law at its finest.
I'd change lanes and then that lane would stop and all the other lines would go past. So
yes. So yes, thank God the Victorian government is making our roads better.
They're fixing it.
Luckily, our tax money is going to such valuable projects.
Like the tunnel.
The tunnel, which is the most stupid idea on the planet. Let's make a busy road busier by just flooding it from a tunnel.
Yeah, that's right. If this ever tunnel ever opens.
Oh, it'll never open. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Well, that's what happens when they, dig it using a shovel, which I think may have even been faster.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, dearie me. Update time.
Update time. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I drove into your car.
Yeah. Yes. I silly me. I parked in front of the garage.
And I went to go to yoga, and we discussed that you were behind me.
Yes, and that I was going to go out and move the car when you're ready to go.
But I completely forgot. I went and hopped in the car, and the car's beeping at me, but it's reversed straight into you.
And I was in the kitchen, and I knew I had to move my car, so I was trying to finish.
So you remembered?
Yeah, and I was going, I've got to do this, and then I'll go and move the car. And next thing you know, you came back in.
See? That's what my friends used to say to me, that I was a bottle brunette, because I'm like seriously blonde sometimes.
Thankfully, you weren't.
I was going very slow.
No damage whatsoever.
No, yeah. I've got a reverse camera. It was beeping at me.
You still want to shoot me. And I wasn't off to the side. I was directly behind you.
Yeah, you were direct. Like if I looked in the rear vision mirror, it would have filled the rear vision mirror. Like seriously, I don't know what drugs I was on, but I need more of them.
Yes, so you did that. Not a lot of running got done.
No.
For various reasons.
Yeah. Well, Ron's knee. It's funny, we were talking because we went out with the Peak Endurance coaching clients, some of them athletes, I should say, last night for the Run Nation Film Festival. We went out to dinner first and that. And we were saying, we went to Adelaide. I ran the miler, but Ron got injured.
I can't imagine. Go figure.
Go figure. I've come off it fine, and you're the one with the injury. So we're doing the wonderful 50K tomorrow.
We are,
And Ron's brought poles, even though it's not really a poles worthy course, but because of his knee, just to help stabilize
in case I need a bit of support, as particularly as I get more tired, during the race.
Yeah, and we're just doing it for fun. But if I'm feeling good and Ron's really struggling, we have discussed.
I have given her permission to leave me for dead.
God, that just makes me sound so horrible. If Ron's struggling, I'm just going to piss off and leave you. I'm sorry. That sounds so bad.
But if I'm feeling like I'm going to have to walk it in, then I don't expect Isabel to walk it in with me.
You would walk it in with me, though, wouldn't you?
Probably, but I don't particularly care about race finishes and stuff.
Yeah.
So so we're just going to go out there and have a bit of fun. And we haven't run in this area.
No, I haven't done these trails. I mean, I've done, Great Ocean Road Marathon, but that's completely different.
Yes. So it's we did get the email saying it's pretty dry out there, although it has rained a bit today.
And it's going to rain in the morning, but it might be rain that just
just seeps into the ground.
Yeah, and it's gone quickly, hopefully, and then we'll run 50 Ks.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to Lawn Pub, where supposedly everyone is gathering afterwards, and then we'll go home tomorrow on the way home.
In Anglesey on the Torquay, not Anglesey, Torquay on the way home.
Visit a friend
for
of mine.
Brunch.
Yeah, of ours, really.
Lunch.
Yes, she's a friend from antenatal classes, from pregnant with my son Adam, who is 27. So yes, we've been friends for a while. So then there isn't a lot to update because we haven't been doing much in the last 2 weeks. For a variety of reasons. It worked out well, me having the procedure and not doing a long run, because Ron couldn't really.
I went out and did a 20K run.
Yeah, we just wanted to test his knee.
Reasonably flat, just to give the knee a bit of a workout and see, what I thought about how it will go this week.
Yeah. So that's really all that's been happening. Not much. And there'll be more update information next podcast.
Yes.
After we've done the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is, like we said last time, every run feels hard. You're not unfit. You're under recovered. So you know those times when you head out for a run, and right from the first step, your legs feel like lead. Your breathing's a bit more labored than usual, and you start thinking, am I getting unfit? Like you've been thinking that because you haven't been running. But here's the truth, not necessarily, and probably not. Like if you're running regularly, there's no way you can be losing fitness. You might just be under recovered. Okay. So in today's episode, there might be other things, but this is just one potential to think about. In today's episode, we're going to bust the myth that feeling flat means that you're unfit. Show you how to spot the signs of fatigue and help you figure out exactly when to push on and when to pull back, so you can run stronger, not just more tired. So let's get into it.
So have you at any time been over exercise, or
me? Yeah.
To the point where you've been exhausted and need to take some time?
When I was, working full time with young kids and running a lot of kilometers, I mean, to be fair, I was pretty much tired all the time. But there were some times I remember once driving to yoga, and I was falling asleep I know that happens now anyway, but this was even worse. And I was falling asleep and I was like so exhausted, and I felt like I was going to cry about the fact of even just doing yoga. And so I just turned around and drove home. Because I thought, sure, it's active recovery, but if I'm that fucked, I need to go home and rest. And I used to sometimes feel like that. I don't really get that as much anymore because I'm a lot more mindful about my rest, but also I have a lot less happening in my life. Like once you don't have young kids around, life is so much easier.
When you sit down on the couch, you sit down on the couch.
And it's not constant go. So you get to do a long run and come home and recover, which, I could never do. I'd get home from a long run and be straight into parent mode and straight into doing stuff. So I don't get that so much. Do you get it? Have you ever had it?
No, not really, because I've always been fairly mindful of having a rest day. Like,
you're good like that.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never really fallen into the trap of having to race or run every day.
Yeah.
I do rest like a champion.
You do.
I'm not one of those people that gets antsy if I'm not doing something.
Yeah.
I was actually just speaking to one of your clients last night, Imran. Hello to Imran.
Yes.
And because he's very much like you, where he feels like he's always on the go. He needs to do something. If he's not doing anything, he's looking for something to do.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how I'm not like that, and I can when I sit down, I can just sit down.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I can read. I can sit down and read.
Yeah. I struggled at the cinema last night because we had to sit for so long.
And he was like, that's amazing. For someone that exercises as much as I do, I can just turn it off and just go, right, now I'm not doing anything.
I wish I was like you, but then I would be a completely different person.
Yes,
so.
That's right. You wouldn't. No. I mean, I'm not particularly driven, but especially for running. And that's why. Well, that's one of the many reasons why I've never won a race.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's many others. The fact that I'm not fast, but
but that's trainable.
But and I've never been driven to train that hard to that point where I'm making those advances and potentially winning races.
Yeah.
So I guess that comes with the territory.
Yeah. No, the difference between fitness and fatigue, right? So fitness is a long-term adaptation. That's why runners need to be so patient, because it takes a long time to build the kind of fitness that you need. And that's like why I went well at Adelaide Mile, like we're spoken about, and talked about. And that combine the word and it's talking.
Spoke.
Yes. And so it's all those years of running that enables me to have that really high level of fitness that I can have time off from structured training and I'm still fit. Like I had an athlete asking me, could you just jump into a 100-mile at any point? And I'm like, yes, I literally, if you said to me, go run 100-mile, I could go do it tomorrow. Like it wouldn't faze me. It would be fine. And I would be fit enough. You could ask me at any point in the year and I could just go and do a 100-mile.
Yeah.
So that's fitness, a long-term adaptation. And we have peaks and all that sort of stuff. Like if I wanted to do really well at a miler, I would want to do structured training and peak for it. Yeah. I'm not saying I didn't want to do well at Adelaide. It just because of the trip, it just wasn't going to work out that way. I did want to do well, but life didn't give me the training block. But fitness, like I said, it's that consistency. And then if I want to do well at a race, then I do focused training and I make sure I peak for the race, right? Fatigue is a short-term suppression of performance. And in general, training causes fatigue. It's perfectly normal. But there's the difference between overreaching, and it's good to overreach. It's important to overreach a little bit and then to pull back. But if it's constant overreaching, that's when you fall into overtraining. So you're meant to overreach, pull back. And that's why you have deload weeks and recovery days, so you can overreach a bit and then the recovery enables you to, a step back for a 2 steps forward kind of thing, right? But if we have too much fatigue just piling on us, because of life, not just running, but, life and everything, the fitness can be hidden under the layers of fatigue. So you might be super fit from all the work that you've done, but the fatigue is just making your legs feel heavy and making you feel slow and making you feel demotivated and unhappy. So the signs of under recovery, what are the physical signs, Ron?
Physical signs are heavy legs, elevated resting heart rate, and trouble sleeping despite feeling tired.
Now, the elevated resting heart rate, that's a tricky one because I don't believe in wearing a watch to bed all night. I just think that constant, reading of your heart rate, like just the what's involved in that. Like sometimes it's good not to have all these devices, on us. Also, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, sure, you can check your resting heart rate. I mean, back in the olden days, they just did, 2 fingers, and I had a little thing that I put on my finger that, like they have at the hospital kind of thing that read my heart rate. But, by the time I'd woken up enough to put it on and all that, my heart rate was up. And so it was kind of pointless, like it's, So, but the trouble sleeping and the heavy legs, to me, is the biggest indicators. And the trouble sleeping, meaning not because of other reasons, but because you're just tossing and turning and lying awake and stressing and, feeling exhausted, like, you go to bed exhausted and you wake up feeling exactly the same, exhausted. So you don't need a watch on to tell you didn't sleep well. Like that drives me crazy. People have to, I need the watch on to know how well I slept. Listen to your body. We've got to start learning to listen to our body again. And that way you'll be less likely to get into overtraining if you listen to your body. So the mental signs of under recovery is loss of motivation, feeling irritable or flat. So the loss of motivation is, I couldn't be asked running, like a sport that you once loved and you just don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
No, it is hard to feel motivated, to be fair, in winter.
It is, yes. Especially if it's raining or
freezing.
even if it's, early morning, it's dark, it's cold.
Yeah, when I get out there, it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
Because I worked a couple of days last week and getting out before work because I've got to be home by around 7:15 at the latest. So that means I got back at 7:20.
You're always pushing the envelope.
Oh, always. It's just like, I don't want to go to work. So if I run longer, that'll make it better.
Yeah. What better way to celebrate not wanting to go to work by making yourself frantic when you have to go to work?
And I inhaled my breakfast in like 4 minutes. It was so bad. I think I was practically vomiting the whole way on the drive. Anyway, so don't confuse lack of motivation with that, I don't want to get out in the cold and I'd rather just stay at home. The loss of motivation is really where you just don't want to run, and just the thought of running fills you with dread. Generally, with your performance, then you'll get slower paces, a usual effort. And the thing is, you may go through stages of that. So don't instantly think, oh my God, I'm going slower. That means I'm under recovered. Like it does happen. Sometimes you've had a tough workout the day before, or maybe you are a little bit. This is when it's slower paces for every run. It's not just one off.
Not just a one-off compared to last week.
Yeah, and struggling in workouts you'd normally handle. Once again, it can happen as a one-off. Sometimes you just get out of bed on the wrong side and things don't go your way. So don't instantly go, right, that's it, under recovered, have 3 weeks off and go to the Bahamas.
You could say that.
That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to say that.
Oh, I would too. But anyway, it's when it's sort of consistent. That sort of thing is consistent. Yeah. So is rest the enemy, Ron?
No. No, it's not.
No, Ron, definitely. I've learned to embrace rest. I was never good at resting before I met you.
Me and rest are really good friends.
Yeah, so, you are. And I struggle. I still struggle, and I get a bit antsy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, I've like I say, I've never had a problem turning off. And when I say turning off, I mean stopping and reading a book or stopping and watching television.
I just had this horrible thought. I don't remember saying join audios. I'm hoping it's on. Who knows?
Find out at the end.
Oh no, hope we don't have to record this again. Why do I always do that? I was in such a hurry. I didn't test audio, nothing.
No, we didn't actually.
Oh my God.
Oh, well,
God, how professional is this? Let's edit this bit out, okay?
Yeah, we'll edit this bit. Yeah,
good. Alrighty. So sorry, I lost focus. What were you saying?
So we were saying that I actually rest well. I don't feel guilty when I rest. Some people feel guilty, and if they're not doing something, productive or fitness wise, they go and jump on the bike trainer or.
I mean, I'm not that bad, no. But recovery unlocks your fitness. It releases your fitness. It allows that super compensation that we're talking about and the adaptation. It's not a weakness. It's actually a training tool because the workouts, oh God, I was just saying it to an athlete this morning. A workout, breaks you down, and the recovery is what reveals the fitness that you've developed from that. It builds you back up. It enables the body to use that fitness and create fitness from the work done. So it's so important. All right, so how do we know when to push or when to pull back?
Well, you push when normal fatigue during a training block.
You've got to expect to be fatigued.
Running is tiring,
yeah.
so you have to expect to be tired after a run.
Yeah.
So that's just normal, and you can keep pushing.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, and when your effort matches the expected load or purpose. So if you're doing a workout, by the end of the workout, yes, you should be, well, not necessarily exhausted, but fatigued.
That's right.
So that's not a sign of overtraining. That's a sign of training.
Yes, that's right. And that's why you have rest days or easy recovery days to enable that. And that's, if you do a hard workout and then you're tired, and then the next day you go out and go, shit, I've got to get a Strava crane on this easy run. I better, I don't want people to think that I'm running slow. Then your body never gets to recover. And then you've got to work out the next day, and then you've got another easy day that you push so you can, doesn't look like you're going too slow.
So that you can say you did an easy run at
4:10 pace. Yeah. All right. So when you pull back is when there's multiple signs of under recovery. That's what we're saying. It's the multiple signs being, you feel you've got heavy legs, you've got trouble sleeping, you're losing motivation, you're irritable, you snap your partner's head off, your slower paces, so it's having more than one thing. Just heavy legs. I did 200-meter hill sprints the other day, and I had heavy legs after. That didn't mean I was overtraining. It means I'd done 200-meter hill sprints that were really hard. Okay, so it's normal to have heavy legs, and but other than that, I was fine, right? So it's multiple and no improvement over a period of time, or declining performance. Now, to be fair, like the no improvement, like I was talking with Jimmy, when I was out running, doing intervals, and I said to him, I'm doing this speed work not to necessarily get faster, but to stop the slowing that comes with age. There comes a point where you're not going to keep getting faster, okay? And you can't go, oh, that means I'm overtrained. Like my faster years were when I was training for marathons. I can't expect I'm going to be faster than that now when I'm training for 100 milers and I'm 20 years older. It's just not going to happen, right? So I can't expect that, by doing this training, which I know works, I'm going to get faster. And if I'm not getting faster, just a few days rest is, no, I'm 54 and I'm training for milers, not marathons and half marathons, right? So my fast days, like I used to have, are over, but I know that with this work, I can get faster at milers and that sort of thing. But if you're seeing declining performance as a steady progression, as it's happening for a while, then yes.
In the performance that you're training for.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Illness or injury warning signs. So like if you're constantly getting sick, yes, obviously you're going to get sick. As soon as you get sick, don't go, I must be overtraining. It's winter.
It could be a bug from work.
Everybody's getting sick, or your kids, or whatever. Everybody's getting sick at the moment. It's bloody terrible. So think of using the 3-day rule. If a run feels unusually hard for 3 consecutive days, have a look at your recovery. Just have a look. I'm not saying you need to take a month off or even a week. Maybe just this week, 1 extra day. Or just go slower on your easy recovery runs, or maybe shorten your long run.
Or maybe do cut a couple of Ks off your recovery run.
That's right. Or only do 1 quality session that week. It doesn't mean you have to suddenly have heaps of rest, but just cut back a little bit.
Most recovery weeks aren't nothing.
Deload weeks are not nothing.
They're weeks where we might cut back
10 to 20 Ks. 10 to 20 Ks, but we'll cut back the long run, and we'll cut back like the number of reps in a quality session and that sort of thing. And the easy runs, we might cut back K or so. It's not a heap, it's just enough. So it's not like you go from a 80-kilometer week to like a 30 or 40-kilometer week. That's not deloading. That's like roller coaster training, right? So that would be an 80-kilometer week and maybe a 65-kilometer week is your deload, right? Alrighty, so what are some practical strategies people can implement if they feel they are under-recovered, Ron?
Well, sleep, number one.
My favourite
Prioritising
thing.
a good quality and a good night's sleep.
Yeah, so setting that alarm on your phone to go off at 8:30. Funny, because we spoke to someone last night and she was exactly the same. She has one that goes off at 8:30 because we were going, oh my God, the movie goes till 9.
That's right. We're in the middle of the movie and Isabel's bedtime reminder went off.
I'm like, Ron, it's time for bed. And making sure, dark room, a window open. I believe you need air in a room. You don't want it to be stuffy. Yes, I know it's cold, but that's actually good. You sleep better when the room is cold. Nutrition, you need to fuel before, during, and after runs. Obviously, when I say before runs, not before a 10K easy run or an 8K easy run in the morning, unless you're doing that in the morning at, say, 10 a.m. Then you should have eaten by then. But if you're getting up at 4:30 and running for an hour, you don't need to eat before that.
No.
And a quality session, maybe just, half a banana, just a little bit of carbs, nothing massive, but make sure you're eating properly when you get home. Like, I don't eat a lot during the week. Thursday, I had something before my quality session, but most days, if I'm just going out, like I did a 12K easy run, and I didn't eat before that because I was out the door by 6:30. But then when I get home, I eat a nice big breakfast with protein powder, and it's awesome. I love it. I look forward to it my whole run. So make sure, and long runs, definitely need to eat before long runs, definitely need to fuel during your long runs. Active recovery. What are your thoughts on active recovery?
Yeah, so easy walks, some stretching, some yoga, as Isabel likes to do, even Pilates, I guess, which is a little more intense. An
easy bike ride on a flat bike path, very easy. But the thing is, some people then get obsessed with doing active recovery, and this is what I worry about. Like, some people then go, right, I've got to do active recovery, and that it becomes another training session.
Yeah.
Doing active recovery,
but then active recovery
is just exhausting.
Being a bike, a spin class or something like that.
But even then, and then I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to do yoga, and I'm going to go for a bike ride. Like, sometimes.
And their active recovery ends up being more than what the average person does.
Yeah, what the average person does, 100%. Yes. Yeah. So, have a think about that. Just have a look at it. Just think about it. Think. What would you think if you saw someone else doing all that you're doing?
Yeah.
Recovery weeks or deload weeks, like we've talked about.
Yeah.
Also, managing your life stress. Now, this is where, because sometimes it's really hard to manage life stress on your own. This is where it's good to talk to someone, perhaps. And I'm not saying like a counselor or something, but that's where life coaching comes in, to manage life stress. They give you actual tools on how to handle life stress. That's what life coaching is meant to be about. Not just about stress, but how to manage life. They're not actually there as a counselor. And a lot of times when you've got trouble in your life, and I'm not saying other, big problems, you don't actually need a therapist or a counselor. You just need someone to help you navigate the difficulties of life in the modern world. And, that's where someone like a life coach would be helpful, in my opinion. Because a lot of us are not good at handling stress on our own without some help. Would you agree?
Yes.
And so we think that we've got to use running to handle the stress. And sometimes if it gets too much, then we're so exhausted, what are we going to do when we don't have the running?
But it also flips over and goes, you start to associate running with stress.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So eventually your running in your mind starts to go, right, I need to be stressed to run.
Yeah.
So it almost backfires on you.
You're right, 100%. I agree. That's a good one. I hadn't thought of that. All right, so a mindset shift here is stop. I almost said something. I was going to say a rude word, but like I say a lot worse.
You don't say rude words.
No, never. I'm a lady. Stop equating rest with laziness, which has been my problem throughout my life. And it's not really a problem, because I think it's actually stood me in good stead. Like, I've always hustled and worked hard, and I think that's always been really good. Like, I think it's a good thing to be a hard worker, but it's not lazy to rest. And, this is
especially when that's not what you always do.
Yeah, that's right.
What
if all you do is rest, then okay.
Then yes, that might be lazy.
Yeah. But when you're, someone who's running and working and family, and even if you don't have a family, it's still a lot running and working. Like, it is, as we well know, because we don't have a young family anymore. And so it's still hard work, and I still get tired. So, there is a bias in endurance sports that more is better, but it's not true. It's not always true. It is to a certain extent. I mean, I know that running performance is related to volume. Like, you will tend to get a better running performance with greater volume, but it's got to be structured, and it's got to be intentional. Just building volume for the sake of building volume is not going to make you fitter or faster.
And it's also going to be tailored to you and your lifestyle.
Yes, that's right. Because that's fine to say more volume equals faster marathon times if you're an elite athlete who doesn't work and that's what you do. Running is your work. But if you're also managing a 50-hour-a-week job or more volume is not the answer necessarily. So you have to look at other ways, of making it work for you. And even those best athletes embrace recovery as part of their plan, even when that's their full-time job. Because they know it's quite common for athletes to go, right, I'm going to become a full-time athlete, and they actually end up overtraining if left to their own devices.
They find they have all this time.
They're like, I've got to train,
If they're not great at resting, then they fill it up with more training.
And so that's a common issue. So I think and a lot of the best runners back in the day used to say they worked because to make sure they didn't run too much. And I think it's good to almost just, even if you were a professional athlete, to do work part-time, even if it was a volunteer job, because I think it's good to have outside interests personally. But, do embrace recovery, and don't use your recovery days to then work a 16-hour day, kind of thing. You need to recover mentally and physically. Even if your job is sitting, you need to also have some you time where you're just relaxing. And also, if you've got a partner, spend some time with them. Use it as quality time.
God knows running takes you away from your loved ones.
It's a bit of a selfish sport in a good way, but it's still a bit of a selfish sport. So if you really struggle with rest days, reframe them as adaptation days. Even put it in your calendar, adaptation day. Don't put rest day, put adaptation day. I might start doing that for athletes. I like that. The more I think about it, I mean, I like that. And it's true. I've learned to do that. That's what I've done, is I've reframed it as adaptation days. All right. So basically, fatigue does not equal a loss of fitness necessarily.
No,
right?
It doesn't. And just, you have to listen to the signs that your body's giving you.
Don't rely on your watch so much, people. No. Please.
No.
Listen to your body.
Ongoing joke with one of my clients who's always looking at his watch and it's telling him he's undertrained or overtrained or
underperforming or whatever it is.
I say, well, how do you feel?
I
mean, he laughs because he knows that Garmin isn't the boss of him. But it tries to be.
Yes, it absolutely does. Rest is where the magic happens. All right, so we encourage you to look back over your last 2 weeks and see if you might be due for more recovery. I mean, maybe you're not, and you're fine. But if you're feeling any of those things that we spoke about, maybe, just a little bit of extra recovery. And we'd love it if, you shared on social media, tag us with your own rest week breakthroughs that you might have had.
What do you use for active recovery?
With too much active recovery. But
how do you balance active recovery? That's what we'd like to know.
I was a notorious, these rest week breakthroughs, I was a notorious overtrainer when I was a mountain biker, and we didn't even know about tapering back then. We just trained hard right up until race day. And I went away. Actually, when I say I went away, went on my honeymoon back in 92 and didn't ride for 2 weeks, right? And then I got back and I had a race, and I did so well. I was so fit and strong. This girl that would normally always beat me, I beat her. And it was because I'd had 2 weeks rest doing no cycling. And I was like, I didn't learn from it, sadly. But I was like, wow, after 2 weeks of not cycling, I'm actually faster and fitter.
Probably forgot about it.
And then I got straight back into overtraining. Shoved that little nugget to the back of my mind. Right. So, don't be like me back then, back in the day, in my early 20s. I was only early 20s. I was a moron then. Everyone is.
That's right. And you had energy to burn.
I thought I was, bloody unbreakable. But honestly, even then at early 20s, there is, even when you're young, you can overtrain. And I was clearly overtraining and then having a rest, and suddenly my performance went through the roof. So, have a think about it. Just have a think about it. So, that's the topic for today.
That's it.
I can't remember what we're going to be talking about next week, but there'll definitely be a bit about this race tomorrow.
We'll
I haven't done any notes for next week yet, so I will figure out what we're going to talk about and then write notes like I did for this. We normally, lately, we've been having them on 2 screens, but I have to get Ron to print them up because obviously we're on the laptop.
We're on the laptop.
Back on the laptop.
Back on the laptop. Back old school.
It's like so small. I need, yes.
When I say old school, I mean from 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but we've moved on. Isn't it funny how quickly you move on and how quickly this seems so shit, the laptop. But yes, anyway, hopefully you can hear us.
That's right. Hopefully the sound
we don't have to do this again. Oh, God, yeah. All righty. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your adaptation days and, just message us or, where's my phone? I wanted to read because we talk about people leaving a review.
Yeah.
And I wanted to read the review. Did I read this? I can't remember.
You read one from Sandra.
Yeah, this is one from Sandra. So maybe I read it. Yeah, where she said it's like having a cough. Oh, see, I love Sandra so much. I just want to read her thingy again. Anyway.
Yeah.
Please write us a review. Can someone, I mean, bless you, Sandra, and thank you, but can someone other than Sandra write a review? You have on Spotify, peoples, all the reviews are by Sandra. And, come on, stop leaving all the work to Sandra.
Right. Yeah, stop leaning on Sandra so much. Leave us a review.
Yeah, come on. We need the reviews. I don't know why, we're just needy, and we do.
Yeah. We like to feel
useful.
Yeah.
And loved.
Yeah.
Yes. All righty. Well, we're putting this out now, so if you happen to be listening to this before you do Wonderfalls tomorrow, come and say hello. We'll have the Insta 360 going.
We will, yeah.
So come and chat if you are there. If not, oh well, tough. We might see you. We're planning on doing Macedon in October. Yeah. So yeah. All righty. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.